Today, instead of our usual Ask Your Meteorologist segment, Adam Sherwinski and I are going to do a science experiment. It doesn't necessarily relate to weather, but it is science. It's fun and easy. You can do it at home. And Adam, I have a present for you.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Since we have been doing so many science experiments, I got us lab coats.
There we go. Oh, I'm putting it right next to the mic, but it's got the little WCIA logo
WCIA lab coats. Now our science is official.
Now it's official for me with the scientist, the meteorologist, right? You have the ist in your name.
I was going to say, he is an official scientist. I'm an unofficial scientist because I've taken marine biology classes, but don't have an official.
But that's okay. Hey,
I just have a certificate.
You're in the realm of science, though, right?
There you go.
You know?
Exactly. Science enthusiast.
Yes.
So today I brought an experiment, and I'm sure you probably actually can relate it back to weather.
Oh, I'll find a way.
Let's see what happens.
Like you know, in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. I'll find a way.
He'll find a way to make it meteorology related. So the ingredients that we have today are baking soda, which I've put in a cup, measuring spoons and cups, a mason jar, but you can use any jar you want, a glove, and some vinegar. So it's pretty simple, and it's something that you can do with the things you find around your house.
Sounds a lot like my volcano that I used to do. And I didn't do a volcano, but we used to do them in the drains. We would actually put make our volcano drains, what we call them back home, and we put baking soda in there, and then we put vinegar in there, and then we turn on the sink, and it would go.
In your actual sink?
Yeah, at home.
How did your parents feel about that?
My mom was the one doing it, so.
Oh, really?
She's like, look at this, I'm cleaning the drains. I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay, well, if it cleans, well,
hey,
I guess.
You know, if it's mom approved, I think it's good. If it's mom approved,
because you're right, it's baking soda and vinegar, which are cleaning items. All right, so Adam, I'm gonna have you put 2 tablespoons of baking soda into this glove.
Yes. And it's a good thing you're having measuring equipment, because I would just dump the whole thing and we'd have a huge
And then we'd have a huge mess.
All right.
And you want to try and kind of get it to stay a little bit down into the fingers, so that then when we put it on, it doesn't start the chain reaction until we're ready.
Yes, because we're doing chemistry, but I can relate it back to physics, because in a way, lots of science just kind of ebbs and flows together here.
Back and forth.
Back and forth, right?
All right, and then I'm going to put in 1/4 of a cup of vinegar.
Okay.
And then, Adam, I'm going to have you put that on top of the jar, but when I watched videos of this online, I haven't yet tried this experiment, what I did realize is that sometimes the glove goes flying. So maybe hold it securely.
And if you're doing this at home, maybe have some goggles too. Don't follow our...
Oh, yes.
We should have had goggles.
We'll get goggles. I got lab
with
coats.
WCIA goggles on.
WCIA goggles are coming soon.
All right, you ready? Drum roll. Do we get a drum roll? All right, let's try it. All right, 3, 2, 1. We have secured said glove. Are we on there tight, Jaclyn?
Yeah, I think once we let go.
Right.
All right, and then we very carefully allow some of the baking soda to fall into the vinegar, and I'll hold it. Let's see what happens.
I wasn't very careful. We'll see what... Oh, hey, look at that. Look at the...
So it blows up the glove, kind of like a balloon. Oh, it feels like it might pop. This is why we got the tray too, because sometimes it
the tray has really been useful here, considering.
So Adam, why is this glove completely filled when
what's actually happening is that we have that vinegar and we have that baking soda giving us carbon dioxide. That's the stuff that we breathe out of our lungs, right? And you're probably thinking, okay, why is the meteorologist talking about this? Because it does give us those extra gases. We're going from liquids to now gases here, right? We're having that gas release with that chain reaction. Now we have a gas in here. What do meteorologists talk a lot about? We talk about a certain gas called air, and we have fluid dynamics. Now, there's 2 things that we have here. Yeah, we have baking soda, which is a solid, but now it's starting to kind of dissolve into that vinegar. So now we have that liquid vinegar. What else is a fluid? Liquids are fluids,
right?
But so is air. And guess who uses a lot of fluid dynamics in their work? Meteorologists, yes.
And I feel like humans need it, obviously. And we talked about once how the trees as well as the ocean help with the balance on Earth of the right amount of carbon dioxide and the right amount of oxygen for people.
So we may not be experts in the sea and water and all that, but I will say that we still use fluid dynamics. I know that it's the same kind of process for water, different stage of the process there of matter, but I will say it's still fluid dynamics, very similar to what you would have for aerodynamics, or not really aerodynamics, but fluid dynamics that we would use for meteorology. I feel like I gotta get my textbooks out.
Exactly. I gotta get my textbooks out, and I'll just show you all the fun
equations that we had to do, the math we had to do in college.
And I'm really tempted to let it go. Should I let it
Yeah,
go
go
and
ahead.
see what happens? It's gonna pop off.
Let's go.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
high five.
High
Woo!
five. All right, well, if you want to try this at home,
Very simple.
go for it. Tag us on social media when you do. And if you have a question for Adam, you can write to him at Sherwinski@WCIA.com, and definitely tag us on social. Visit our website, CILiving.tv, after the show.